I was diagnosed when I was 61, a diagnosis which came out of the blue and was a bit like walking into a brick wall where you had to sit down and sort of completely reevaluate the life that you have in the future. First thing I was thinking was, how am I going to cope? How am I going to be able to stay in my house and be, and live normally as possible? How am I going to cope with infections? How am I going to cope with peripheral neuropathy if my fingers don't work and I can't dress myself in the morning? I think those are the concerns which go through my mind, certainly. I get checked every 3 months at the moment. So I go and have a blood test about 10 days before I get the results. So I got a 10-day worry zone. And you've been there, you've felt the needle in your arm, you've had a blood test, you can't forget it. And you know that you're not going to get the result for another 10 days. It's a very difficult 10 days for me. I find it hits me every single time. And then of course you go in only to be told, well, fine, you're okay, you're still in remission. And I should be jumping up and down, but you can look at it two ways. I'm in remission and I am jumping up and down. On the other hand, I know that I am going to relapse. It's a difficult cancer to have because it keeps raising you up and then throwing you down. And you've got a sort of roller coaster of emotions running through your treatment and indeed through your life with myeloma. If you become, I suppose, sad about it and depressed about it, you have to find a way to get out. I go to our support group for patients with myeloma. That works quite well because you can see people that have been living with myeloma longer than you, who have had the drugs that you are going to have. So you can always look forward. People newly diagnosed that will meet me and see someone who's been in remission for 7 years. Because all myeloma is individual. You can't guarantee that for anybody. I also talk about myeloma. And I do that because I think to not talk about it gives it a dignity that I don't believe it deserves. So the more I talk about it, not in a way that might encourage people to be sympathetic, but in a matter-of-fact way, which sort of puts it in its place. Myeloma is an illness which will take you through peaks and troughs. You've got to make the most of your peaks, absolutely. Do everything that you want to do, that you are physically capable of doing and mentally capable of doing. During the peaks and during the troughs, look forward to the next peak. That's all you can do. It really is. And don't be afraid to talk about it. It lessens the impact of myeloma if, without boring people about it, if you treat cancer as being, well, frankly, a part of life.